So you want to retire like a boss, right? I mean, why wouldn't you? What if I told you that by understanding just one simple concept, that would be the biggest difference maker between having over a few $100,000 in your bank account and over $1 million in your bank account? Would you be intrigued? Would you watch this whole video? Well, you're in the right place. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sage. You know me as the Singing Investor, and on this channel, I like to talk about all things personal finance, the world of investing, share tips and advice on how you and I can grow our financial wealth, but also share what I love most, and that's singing. Now, on today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what Albert Einstein refers to as the eighth wonder of the world. And I'm not talking about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I'm not talking about my grandma's cooking, although that definitely is a wonder. I'm actually talking about compound interest, and some of you might have heard about it before. Some of you might not have heard about it before. So I'm going to break it down for you very, very simply. So if you were to hop onto Google and do a basic search for what is compound interest, an Investopedia link will show up on the top of your search results, and it'll give you an example of what compound interest is. Here it explains it as the interest on a loan or deposit calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. Now, maybe that just went over your head, so a much easier way of understanding this is the interest you are earning on top of your interest. So what does that mean? Well, let's say you were to take $100 that you've saved up and throw it into an account that experiences 10% returns year over year. By the end of the year, you'll have $110 in your account, right? Because 10% of $100 is $10. Now, let's say you were to leave it in that same account the very next year and it still experiences a 10% return. Now you're going to be earning 10% on $110 rather than just $100. Now, if you were to do it the very next year, you would be earning 10% on $121 and so on and so forth. So as you can imagine, the longer you keep that amount of money in the account experiencing the same amount of returns, the bigger lump sum of money you will receive just based on that compounding interest. Pretty cool, right? So maybe now you're starting to wonder, how does this relate to retirement? And why did Sage mention anything about $100,000 or even $1 million in the beginning of the video? Well, I want to share a story with you that you might find relatable. Let's pretend for a minute you are 24 years old, you and your best friend just graduated college and both landed a job in New York City. Now, both of these jobs are offering you 401k benefits and are paying out $50,000. You both know that retirement's really important. Your parents have mentioned it before, your grandparents have mentioned before, but the way you both approach how you save for your retirement fund is a little bit different. Now, for the example, we're just going to assume that these accounts are experiencing a 10% return year over year, and your friend knows how important retirement is, and they start right away. They're willing to put up $250 every single month into their retirement account, and that translates to about $3,000 every single year. And they're going to do this for 11 straight years. So from the age of 24 to the age of 35, they're putting in $3,000 every single year. Now you, however, were a little hesitant to start off. You think to yourself, well, I have the rest of my life to start saving up for retirement. What's the rush? So you hold off on putting a single penny into that 401k until the age of 35. Except you stay consistent and give $3,000 every single year from the age 35 to 65. So instead of your friend who only did it for 11 years from the age of 24 to 35, again, you were doing it for 30 straight years, 35 to 65. All right, now real quick, before I keep going on with this story, I'm curious what you guys think. So make sure to write this in the comment section below. Who do you think is gonna have more money saved up by the time they reach retirement age of 65? Do you think it's gonna be your friend that started when they were 24 but only did it for 11 years? Or you that waited till you were 35 but did it for 30 straight years? So believe it or not, your friend that started when they were 24 but only did it for 11 years is actually going to have more money in their account by the time you both reach the age of 65. Now, how much money? Well, I'm going to hop into Excel and actually show you. Alrighty, so you guys should be able to see my screen. And what I did here is I created two separate examples. The first example is for your friend that starts investing when they're 24. The second example is you that waits until they're 35 to start investing. So here I've put $3,000 for the yearly contributions, followed by the 10% interest, which is $300, that's 10%, for a total amount of $3,300. Now, when you turn 25, remember you are contributing another $3,000. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna write $3,000, but we're also going to add this to the initial investment you already have from when you were 24 years old, which is this $3,300. So we're gonna press enter, and you'll see that you have $6,300 in your account. Now that amount of money is going to earn a 10% return on interest. So the way that breaks down is you should be seeing $630 of interest that you've gained off of your total invested amount, $6,300, to see a return of $6,930. Now, we're gonna keep doing this same method, right? We're gonna continue putting in $3,000, but we're going to stop when we reach 35 years old. So at this point, we now have $61,153 in our account. And like I mentioned, I am no longer going to make contributions. I'm happy with the amount that's in there. I want to save the money and put it towards other expenses in my life, right? So what we'll do here, since we're no longer making the $3,000 contribution, we're going to copy that $61,153, and it's just going to sit there, making that 10% return year over year. So what we'll do is we're going to copy this down, and we're just going to copy this all the way down to when we retire at the age of 65. And here you're going to see that there's $1,173,789 in the account. And that's crazy. So now let's actually take a peek at how you did by waiting until you were 35 years old. So here you'll see that you've made $3,000 contributed to your 401k, the same 10% return, $300, for a total of $3,300. So what we'll do here, same idea, is $3,000 plus the total amount you invested the year prior at the same return of 10%. But we're gonna drag this down for 30 straight years. So we're gonna drag this all the way down, and what you'll see is by the time you're 65, you only have $600,413 in your bank account. And that's still a large chunk of change, but compared to your friend that did it 11 years before you, they have $1,173,000. That's a little over $500,000 that your friend has made over you. And why is that? That's just the power of compound interest, right? Those 11 years that your friend took advantage of to start early gave his money the opportunity to grow on itself over and over. Well, there you go. That's just a prime example of, of the impact and power of compound interest, right? Taking advantage of those 11 years earlier on in your friend's life. She or he was able to not only have over $500,000 saved in their account compared to you, but they were able to retire with $1 million in their account. But the idea here is being consistent and understanding the power of starting early and the impact it has on your funds much later on. I want to thank you guys if you made it to the very end of this video. Hopefully you were able to take something positive away, learn something new, and now really understand the importance of saving early and how compound interest can help you become a millionaire by the time you retire. Next video is going to be an original song that I wrote over an instrumental beat that I found on YouTube. Really excited to share it with you guys, and I hope to see you there.